because we cannot stay in this house. It's just not going to happen.
A deadly explosion damages nearly 200 homes in a northwest Houston neighborhood. We're live there as the cleanup begins. Another suspected case of the new coronavirus just popped up in Texas. What we know about the latest college student being tested. And House impeachment managers wrapped their case for why President Trump should be removed. Now his defense team is gearing up for its turn.
From the KHOU 11 studios, this is H-Town Rush.
And we start this morning with a live look at downtown Houston from our tower cam. It's chilly and dry now, but that will change by the end of the day. Thanks for waking up with us on H-Town Rush. I'm Janelle Forte along with meteorologist Addison Green, and it's going to get pretty wet later on today.
Yeah, so if you have any of those plans, make sure you grab that umbrella when you step outside, because unfortunately the rain is coming, but for the time being, you can certainly see there's barely a cloud to be found in the sky. We have temperatures in the low 50s. It's nice and comfortable with us watching a storm system approaching us from the west, where it will increase cloud cover as it makes its approach to our area. We'll have temperatures in the 50s later on this morning to the low 60s by the lunchtime hour. Feel free to be out and about on the plaza grabbing a bite to eat. But we'll watch as we go towards sunset. We'll get the chance for seeing those clouds thicken on up. And afterwards, that's when the rain comes our way.
Good to know, Addison. Well, take a look at your screen. This is what remains of Watson Grinding and Manufacturing after a deadly blast yesterday morning. We still don't know what caused the explosion, but we do know the name of the two employees killed, Frank Flores and Gerardo Castorena. The company said in a statement released last night, quote, "Our hearts go out to the families and businesses impacted by this incident and to our community. At this time, our immediate concern is the safety and well-being of everyone in the area and our employees." Now, that blast damaged hundreds of homes, shattering glass, caving in ceilings, even knocking some houses off of their foundations. Our Melissa Correa spent yesterday speaking to families about how they plan to rebuild. She's live there for us now. Melissa, the big question is, what comes next? Here's what we know about Watson Grinding and Manufacturing. The company makes a plastic called polypropylene, which has two ingredients, propylene and liquid nitrogen. A 2,000-gallon tank of propylene, a highly flammable gas, was leaking at the site, but crews secured it. Our coverage continues with a deep dive into the company's safety record. Investigative reporter Jeremy Rogalski found some on-the-job accidents and workplace hazards.
We checked the past dozen years and found a handful of run-ins with federal safety investigators, including one involving a potential explosion risk.
This 2008 OSHA report cited Watson Grinding and Manufacturing for not checking the gas system for leaks in its equipment.
Now, we expect to hear more from investigators and homeowners throughout the day. Download the KHOU 11 app and turn on push alerts so we can share new information with you as soon as we get it. A deputy ambushed responding to a domestic disturbance call, exchanged fire with a suspect last night. This happened in Spring around 9:30. Harris County Precinct 4 Constable Mark Herman says when one of his deputies rolled up to the home on Hatchmer Place, the suspect shot at him, hitting his patrol car several times. The deputy returned fire, but neither got hit, and he was able to arrest the gunman. New this morning, the U.S. is evacuating Americans from Wuhan, China, where the coronavirus originated. About 1,000 Americans are believed to be in the city right now. The evacuation means the U.S. consulate will shut down. This news comes as we learn the death toll of the virus jumped to 41, and more than 1,000 people are now affected by the virus. There are 2 confirmed cases of coronavirus here in the United States and 3 possible cases being tested right here in Texas. A Baylor University student is suspected to have the virus. McLennan County Public Health says the student showed minimal symptoms after a trip to China earlier this year. The CDC is testing samples to figure out if it is in fact the coronavirus. In the meantime, he's being kept away from other students.
We've asked the student to self-isolate, and that means that you refrain from going out or spending a lot of time in large crowds or anything like that.
The dorm where the student lives has been thoroughly sanitized to stop any potential spread of the virus. This comes after a student at Texas A&M University went to the ER with mild symptoms after a recent trip to Wuhan, China. He's also in isolation waiting for test results. The Texas Department of State Health Services says it's also testing that 3rd case, but we don't know where. Here's what we know about the confirmed cases of coronavirus here in the U.S. The latest, a Chicago woman traveled to China over the holidays and caught the virus while there. Same story for a man who traveled from China to Washington state. The CDC is now screening returning passengers to catch any more cases.
We are looking for ill travelers, but equally important, it's an opportunity for us to educate travelers about this virus so that they can be on the lookout for symptoms.
Now, the CDC says there will likely be more cases in the coming days and weeks, but that the immediate threat to the general public is low. You're taking a live look at the U.S. Capitol, where President Trump's defense team will get its turn to present its side today. One of his attorneys says they'll save the bulk of their arguments in the impeachment trial for next week. Once the president's team wraps, senators will have 16 hours to ask questions before revisiting the issue of new witnesses and documents. Yesterday, the House impeachment managers wrapped up their case, trying to convince senators the president obstructed Congress.
No president has ever dared, during an impeachment inquiry, to officially and explicitly order government witnesses to defy House subpoenas.
Now, so far, no witnesses have testified during the trial. CBS will air the trial live this morning. You can read the latest on KHOU.com and on our social media pages. In the meantime, let's get over to meteorologist Addison Green with more on the shift to those chilly temperatures we're seeing this morning.
Yeah, Janelle, we're going to be noticing that the cool air will want to make a return after we have to deal with a chance for seeing some rain showers come our way. So we'll be talking about those details as well as more chances for seeing scattered showers roll on in as time goes on. But you can certainly see scattered showers will be an issue going through the evening hours and by tomorrow morning. Let's go ahead and wrap it all up with that 7-day forecast. There are those several rain chances in the mix, but also a few dry days sprinkled along the way.
Thanks, Addison. Well, KHOU legal analyst Gerald Treese joins us next to answer your questions, like what should your family do if multiple heirs inherit land?